And I'm asking for a hot 3 minutes.
Might be a lot hot.
Talk loud and tell us who you are. You look great. Love that hat.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I am Ebony Jackson. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Transplanted to Dallas in 2002. Soon after I met my husband, I was with him nearly 20 years, married 16 years. Like Dr. Jones was saying, one day he told me he was gonna work on the car. And I said, it's raining, babe, to kind of encourage him to not work on the car. And he said, all right. And he looked at me and I looked at him and he went upstairs. The end. Wow. He wasn't sick. He loved life. He loved doing things with me. That is still hard in ways that I can't assemble words to properly tribute. So that's why I wanted to know how was he pulling words together that might describe such a love that was no more, but still yet is. My husband and I worked together. I worked outside of the house, and then we began to work together because we realized us working together made more money than me working for somebody else. If you don't know, work together and find out. It's more lucrative, period. So he always likes to do man work because he was a man. So I grew up, I have one auntie and 14 uncles, and I was always surrounded with man work. So I'm like, yeah, I could change that alternator, I could do that. Like, let's do that. And I wanted to do what he was doing. He kept telling me no until one day somebody was sick and there was nobody else, so he had no choice but to let me go. Wow. We did heavy appliance installations, custom installs, everything. There's not much in this restaurant that I couldn't put together. Vent hoods, chimneys, whatever it is. Now I contract somebody to do. I'm in the field and I do the work. I hold the license and I'm a black woman. Okay. So if they have 10 people and they say, we're not hiring, oh yes you are. You are. I know you're not in compliance with your contract. So whatever field you're in, I encourage you to be elite in your field. Hold a license in your field. Right. Don't take, if it seems like the money's too quick, walk away. Because quick as it comes, it'll go. Yeah. It's not sustainable. We're technically in transportation, so logistics and trucking. You see those people like, I got 18 trucks, they're gonna be upside down in those 18 trucks. If you cannot get a dedicated contract, don't do it. That's my advice to you as a professional in the field and having almost 20 years in the field as a black woman in DFW. And I don't know anybody else that does what I do. Not them on the truck, not them doing the work. There is nobody. It's me, Ebony Jackson. That's it. All right, girl. And they say that, have you seen them when the last time a lady brought something to your house, in your house, and put it in? Wash and dry anybody? It was me. It's gonna be done right. It's gonna be right. I care about whether or not you can use it for 20 years. Water and electricity flowing together, that matters. You want professionalism, right? The other thing we do is I have an organization called Diamonds of Distinction. Dr. Amerson spoke at one of our meetings when we were first starting out years and years ago. We were meeting at houses, and she so graciously came and educated us about hair. We were together all the time, but we didn't know how many women that we were bringing together, black professional women, who were concerned about their hair, and how many of them made appointments. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my hair together. I went to Dr. Anderson. I had some soap and some hair stuff and everything to get myself together, because what she has to say is important about how we take care of our bodies. That's right. And thank you. Yes. Thank you. Because bringing important conversations to women matter. We also do mentorship with girls from 12 to 18, and we're beginning our 18 to 23 program.
Wow. 18 to 23?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next person up is a stick of dynamite. She might be short. She She's a little round, but she spoke at the Missing Black Girls.
Oh, wow.
We had that event sometime last year. Okay, this building is in 3 parts. This is the restaurant, the law firm is in the center, and there is a club. So we invited people to the club. And she got up to speak. We wanted women that worked with human trafficking, because I didn't know anything about it. I just know we had 100,000 black girls missing in 2020. 100,000 black girls are missing in 2020. I called the FBI, I talked to Homeland Security, and the constable again came in uniform, a couple of judges that work with kids, and we got busy. And you rocked the place. Tell them what you do. Let's start there.
So I started out, well, first of all, my name is Beverly Pipkins. And, Beverly Pipkins is my name.
Okay.
And I have on these colors. I'm not a Sigma Gamma Rho with the phenomenal women of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. But I wear the colors because blue represents human trafficking, and yellow was to represent my organization and the importance it is to work with human trafficking victims. And so I worked starting out 15 years for the Department of Homeland Security. When the guys drove those planes to the Twin Towers, they had to fire somebody. So my whole unit, I was a supervisor there for 10 years. And then my whole unit was let go because, again, they had to find a way to dignify the visa came out of our office. So when they let me go, I had money there from 401k and just working there. I was rich. I was young too. I had more money than I ever had. And I left there and I went to Texas Department of Criminal Justice. A good friend of mine, my classmate, he said, "Bill, come over here and be a parole officer." I was like, "I don't want to be no parole officer. But let me go back and start with Iris Watson." I was a 9th grader coming to high school for the first time. And she took me under her wings, and I mean, you know, I was a comedian all the time. I wanted to just be a comedian. That's what I really wanted to be. My mom. But Iris would keep me in line, and I was a track star. So she made sure I was going to practice, I was going to do these things. I've always, on my Facebook posts or anytime I could speak, I've always credited her for, you know, kind of keeping me in line. And all through the years, I'm 52 years old, and I'm telling you, I probably went down the wrong track. However, to go back to what I've done, I started working for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and I moved up really, really quick. And I thought, dang, is that easy? Because I was a clerk, and I didn't want to be a parole officer. So I came in as a clerk, like, "Hey, sit down over there and take a number." So I did that for about a year. I did that for about a year, and then someone encouraged me, like, "Oh, go to Academy." So I went to Beeville, and I went to Academy to be a parole officer. When I left Academy, I graduated, it was my birthday. It was like January 15th, my birthday was the 19th. And I graduated Academy, and once I made it back, 5 months later, the director, her name is Jacqueline Dickerson, the director said, "Hey, I've been watching your work, I want you to be an SISP officer." That's the highest you can actually go with parole. So that's super intensive supervision. You messing with people that have done the most heinous crimes. Some of the guys I met, they ride around with the dead body in the car. This is what they went to prison for. So, you know, they was like, "How you like 4 feet tall and you going in that house?" You know, and you just don't act. These are guys that's working with me that been working there like 20 years. They were like, "You ain't scared?" And I was like, "No." First of all, I was introduced to boxing with Curtis Coates. So I knew I was fighting. So I actually became a parole officer. Then about a year later, I became a sex offender officer. So that's what led me into human trafficking. I was like, who is paying for little kids? And we black, we ain't had that kind of money. So I was trying to get into it and think about it. I had a similar story to Iris. My supervisor, there was a young black guy, he lived in Terrell, Texas, and he accidentally playing with a gun, shot his best friend. And he went to prison. Long story short, his parents didn't have any money, went to prison after they put their house, lost everything. He went to prison at 20 and got out at 26. And I remember sitting in my office, and my supervisor was so evil. And I remember sitting in my office, and I heard her and another young lady, Caucasian lady, she said, we're going to set him up. So when he come in office, he won't be able to take his UA, then he'll go back to prison. Well, I was in my office, the door was closed, I was trying to get some work done, nobody knew I was in there. They left going to lunch. I came out of the office, I went to the front desk and I said, hey, when this young man come in, he was not my client, so I wasn't really supposed to work with him. So when this young man come in, call me, I want to give him his UA, because that's what he was there for. I did that and everybody was like, don't do it because she's gonna come for you. That's how I lost my job. So we ended up going to a hearing, and there was a pre-hearing. I went to the hearing and the guy in the hearing was like, I know people that's done horrible things, you're not gonna lose your job. And so I ended up, they gave me the opportunity to resign. That's what they did. So I left there, and that's what led me. Sometimes, you know, you have to go through the bad things to get to
That's right.
because they don't know that they kind of put me on the track to my destiny.
Yeah.
So I went to work for a company called Promise House, which was human trafficking. I built their program. When they hired me, they fired my boss. So my boss was taking me to all these meetings, and she never knew anything about human trafficking. But she had me, every time they asked a question, it was like, you know, I had to speak. And so they fired her when they found out that she didn't know the job. So I did that job for 2.5 years. They posted the position, I applied for it. My sorority sister was the director. And I applied for the job, went on the interview, she was saying it was excellent. She never hired nobody, so 4 months later, she posted the position again. I reapplied.
All right.
And she calls me, she said, hey, it's nothing about you, but this person, I hired somebody, she had just a little bit more experience than you. I was like, I've been doing the job for almost 3 years, why not take a shot on me? The girl, she put the girl with me to train. Long story short, she knew nothing. She had no experience. Found out, she was like, her best friend came and was like, hey, they didn't hire you because they don't like the way you put your outfits together. And so I would go to work dressed up because I'm rescuing human trafficking girls. And I'm trying to teach them how to be dressed up. You can still dress nice and not half naked. And you can still, you know, get a decent job. You can still get an education. So that's why I would dress up every day. And I would wake up. I mean, I worked around the clock for them. Because I'm, you know, sometimes you got to work your way up. So however, I ended up going out on leave. I met a millionaire in parole. I went out on leave. This millionaire called me out of the blue. He goes, what you want to do with your life? How much money you make over there? I told him. He goes, that's nothing. So he was like, what you want to do? I told him, I said, you know what? I'm going to go to truck driving school. He paid my mortgage for 8 months.
Wow.
Not only did he pay my mortgage for 8 months, every week I would have some money in my account. That was to pay my light bill, my water bill.
Right.
You know. So he made a way for me. I went to truck driving school, went over the road, learned it. I had a trainer that was absolutely amazing. Taught me everything about driving an 18-wheeler. I'm 4 feet tall. I would hit the dock. I was driving for, at the time I started delivering for Home Depot. I would hit the dock and go in, you know, because I was getting paid by the load. So I'm hitting the dock and running here and get this paperwork because I got to go. I got to get the next load. And they was like, hey, what a driver at? So it was like, you driving the truck? And it was like, they couldn't believe it. So I hated driving a tractor trailer, but that was the only way I could make a little money. And I was doing that only to make money to fund my organization. The name of my organization is The Real Promise, and it's capital letters, REAL, The Real Promise Incorporated. And I only jumped on the truck to fund my organization because I couldn't get nobody. I was begging for money. I couldn't get anybody to do it. Long story short, I closed my safe house because the trafficker started looking for me. It was like, get rid of her. It's easier to get rid of her.
Oh, wow.
And I built a room on the back of my house because Parkland called me. Parkland Hospital said to me, I need your help. And I was thinking, I can't, you know, I'm driving a truck and I'm doing this. I built the room on the back of my house. And I mean, the devil came for me several times. I built that room 2 times. I built it, February it flooded. I had to go build it again and fight with Geico for insurance. But it was hard. I just kept thinking about giving up. And this just ain't for me. And a lady sent me to school for human trafficking. So I'm a certified trainer for human trafficking. And she told me, she bent down, because she could see it in my face that this ain't gonna work for me. And she bent down, kneeled down, she said, listen, you built for this. Because I did a presentation and people were saying that I wasn't as articulate as the people that was on the panel. And I'm like, when you go to human trafficking, when you go to the street, they don't care if you are articulate. And, they don't care how you talk. Because I tell you what, they was flocked to me before they would flock to somebody that's wearing Gucci and speaking proper, and I am articulate. And so, Dr. Davis don't know either. I was a little girl, and we didn't have cable. My mother, we were poor. But that was the only show that was on TV. Dr. Davis, she was doing fashion, and I was like, man, one day I'm gonna meet that lady. And
There you are.
met her. We've been working together. But Deborah Jones, I got a text message right now on my phone. November 21st, she texted me and said, "I love you."
Oh.
And she was connecting me with people, and she wanted to make sure I got on the channel. Dude, she just wanted to. She followed my organization, and she was like, "Pick me up and go to the streets with you." I was like, "Hey, you gotta carry guns if you go to the street." And so I love Deborah. I love Deborah Jones because I'm telling you, it's people like that, Dr. Esther and Deborah, that if you don't have it in you, and you gotta have it in you, you gotta love what you do. Because, like I said, working in Texas Department of Criminal Justice, I met a lot of heinous people, a lot of crime, but I put a guy in prison. And that's what made me step out on the rim and do human trafficking. He was kind of his daughter. I rescued her. He was her trafficker.
Oh,
yeah. So,
Well, the youth, they called me one night. I was on the phone with them one night with two other people. They were going out to find girls.
Tony Snap.
Now, think about what I just said.
Going out.
They going out to find girls. So she tells me, Dr. Davis, you don't know nothing about this. You don't know what you do. And she was right, because to go out and look for some prostitutes. So they invited me, Dr. Bailey, to the strip joint. Because they thought I needed to go to the strip joint. So Deborah and I decided, no, we just raise money. We like to go to the strip joint. But that was just amazing to me that they have a cartel. Y'all went out on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. Y'all
Thursday
found
night is like Thursday night is considered vice night, so they don't typically work the girls on Thursday.
okay.
And we're looking for underage girls, so we're looking for girls 12, 13, 14. The
Right.
girls that I was rescuing, they was already 17, 18. Like, they consider youths washed up on the street, so they pretty much out there just kind of,
Woo. So, thank you so much. We just love it. If Constable doesn't get a chance to say anything today because she's being honored, and we want to honor women. We want to honor women. You have presentations, please.
Good afternoon again, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Patricia Mabry, and I have a couple of nonprofits, but a nonprofit organization called LEAF, which is Life Even After Fear. It is aimed at assisting women who've been affected by domestic violence and recovering substance abuse, as well as the LD Cox Foundation. The LD Cox Foundation is for at-risk youth. My grandson was killed the night he graduated from Carter High School in 2017. Senseless gun violence. My nephew was killed March 13th of 2021 of gun violence. So, with that being said, we like I told you, constantly uplifting women, looking for people that are out in the community, making some impact. And in my search on Facebook, Miss Karen Jameson.
She's not here.
She's not here?
That's your lady. We'll get to her.
Okay. Miss Irish Watson. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Miss Tracy Gold. In your bags, you will have a leaflet in regards to the organization. Miss Kina. You don't remember we used to work out together.
I know.
Mr. Jimmy.
We gotta get back
Back
over
at
there.
it.
Thank you.
Miss
have anything to say about that. I do, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I didn't know who lived in
We all have a card. Thank you, Ms. Trish. A big hand, please. Thank you. After the kid on the block, who's probably been with us a long, long time. You worked with Deborah with one or two of the programs. So Shaw Hyder and then Dr. Amy.
How y'all doing today? First of all, I just want to say I'm so glad I got a chance to make it here today because my mother's having surgery this morning, so I'm a little emotional, but I couldn't miss this.
Thank you.
So much I could say about so many wonderful people that I know in this room. But first of all, I got to say, I was born in South Dallas.
All right.
Okay, let me get that understood. Forest Avenue Hospital. Grew up in Oak Cliff. Hung out in West Dallas, so I know the territory. So I'm Oak Cliff proud. So I always have to represent South from Oak Cliff, Texas. Deborah Jones and Esther have been a part of my life for many, many, many years. And I have been blessed to be under so much wonderful leadership in Dallas, Texas. So there are so many great people from, as a child I grew up in Oak Cliff under Southeast Dallas Business and Women Professional Clubs. So many great things happen in Dallas and so many great leaders. Mary Lucky, I could always have to give her a shout out. And all the wonderful teachers at Robert O. Thornton, Val Story, all those Skyline, all those great schools in Oak Cliff, okay? I like to say that I'm a product of Oak Cliff, Texas, okay? That means that I am a serial entrepreneur. That means I do a lot of different things. I was in the hair salon business for many, many, many years, thanks to Deborah, who always would say, Shar, my hair, you know, my hair is evil. That was her thing when it was time for her to come to the salon. So I was also worked with Deborah Jones at another program that her and Fred had, the after school program. You probably forgot about the Fashion Expo program, which we, oh my God, we had so much helping young girls teach them etiquette and all of those wonderful things. I was also a part of that. All of the Dress for Success, where we would get prom dresses for all of the young women, young girls going into womanhood to make sure that they had prom dresses. So there are so many programs. And also the Jones 2000 and then Jones 2000 and beyond, also part of that program that they were also wonderful, helping mentor many, many young men and girls over there. I'm just a little nervous, so y'all just bear with me. But I just want to say that I'm a singer, I'm an author, I'm an actress, I do TV, and I also do voiceover with all the entertainment. And I also have to give, my first show was produced by Ester Davis, decades ago. The Just Short Show, Women's Sports Talk, and all of those great shows. So I'm just so honored to be here. And I just want to say that all you ladies look so beautiful. And I also have to give a shout out to one of my other great mentors, Dr. Sharon Middlebrook, who's more like a sister who keeps me politically in line. And all those great things. And I do, Dr. Anderson, I've followed you for years because I'm a hairstylist and we've met before, and I tell you, it's been a while, but it's so wonderful to meet you and see you all again. And there's so many beautiful women here. And by the way, you can still do comedy. Because thank you so much, and I definitely want to get everybody's card because I definitely want to be involved in everybody's organization. It's so important that we as women, that we stick together and we help each other. So I'm excited about meeting everybody. Give me your card because, hey, I'm going to be involved with everybody.
I have a lot of famous friends. Yes. Well, you think I'm famous, but she has her picture on 83 magazines.
Hello everyone, and To God be the glory. My name is Dr. Linda Amerson. I am CEO of LA's Hair and Scalp Clinic in Arlington, Texas. And Miss Ebony, it's been such a long time. I'm glad you recognized me because I did not recognize you. But anyway, my specialty and my assignment is to help women, men, and children of all cultures who are impacted with some form of alopecia, scalp disorder conditions, and are on a health and wellness journey. So we take a hair science approach.
Speak up, Dr. A.
We use 3 microscopes when we're analyzing the hair bulb and the hair strands. I love research. So we analyze we use 3 microscopes. We have a polarized microscope, a tricholoscope, and then we also have an epigenetic hair bulb analysis. So we are literally getting to the root of your problem. Okay? And so it's very, very fascinating. With the last microscope, it also includes a 33-page hair science. It's a hair, skin, and nail report. And then I also have an immunity report that I can offer to individuals. I've had the pleasure to offer these reports to CW and also to Dr. Esther Davis. This is wonderful to let you all know by using the hair bulb what your nutritional deficiencies are. So some of us eat some things that we like, some of the things that you shouldn't be eating. So with this particular hair bulb analysis, it tells you what your body is absorbing and what you are deficient in. And so it is very, very helpful with what I do as far as hair transformations, also with restoring the confidence of men, women, and children. It also is great for people who have been bullied because of hair loss, especially with the children. So this is great, so I can help children as well. Another thing that is our passion is we have our own award-winning product line. And it's called Dr. Amerson's Therapeutic Essentials. We have an award-winning all-natural product line, you guys. And it's been on the market for over 18 years and wonderful, wonderful results globally. We use a local manufacturing company who's they're located in Garland. But again, my products are all natural, and I wanted to have consistency with my products because sometimes when people make their own products, you don't always have the consistency. So that's something that I knew that was very, very important for all of our patients. Been in the business over 43 years, and we love what we do. We love what we do. Another thing that we do to give back to the community, we started our own scholarship. So this is our 10th year of paying it forward to a youth who has been impacted with some form of alopecia. And we also sometimes choose nonprofits when we don't have a youth that wants to participate to write our essays. It's a different generation. So that is presented in September. So September is National Alopecia Awareness Month. So we always try to do something. Yes, it is. So we try to always do something to bring awareness to alopecia. You know, it affects men, women, children, also animals. So we bring that awareness as well. So Dr. Davis asked me to bring some of my magazine covers. I've been blessed to be a journalist in over 83 national magazines, and I've been on the cover of 12 magazines. Wow. So these are
Thank you, Dr. Amerson.
So we, just one quick thing, so we also partner with other individuals, sororities, church groups, women's groups, even churches, to spread the continued awareness. So we would love that partnership to continue. And another shout out to Miss Irish Watson. She has been just wonderful to refer so many of her patients to clients. And she loves our products. So please try our products. Thank you.
And that's a key word right there, Dr. Amerson, is refer. We need to refer people to, let's do that just in a little while. Can we do that? We got more time. They gave me more time in this room. Sister Brenham is here, but I want, not yet, please. Pastor, how you doing? Great. She just buried a son. So, and we're so happy to see you. But I know you have a word for us.
Looking at me? I want to say hello, everyone. I'm just really honored to be here. I just really feel so much love in the room. So many women of substance in this room. So many women that have depth in them and value. And I just feel so privileged. I first want to thank Esther Davis, such an amazing woman, a unique woman, a beautiful woman, an extraordinary woman that I have had the opportunity to meet her and to be in fellowship with her, and I appreciate her today. She doesn't know as well that she has impacted me. Just our little small time that we have had as a relationship. I ain't had it like y'all, I'm jealous. But the little small time that I have had with her, I have enjoyed her. She's just amazing. She just makes me want to even be more feminine. Volleyball, cheerleader, and when I was growing up, I used to want to race. I would watch the racing on TV, and I was like, "Mama, I want to race." She'd be like, "Sit your butt down." And I grew up then, and I told Miss Davis this when I went to the boxing fight. I said, "I want to box." She said, "No." I said, "These are things that I wanted to do growing up, and not only that, I wanted to be Dallas World Women's Wrestler." And my mama used to say, "Girl, what's wrong with you?" But I had this courageous energy that just flowed through me when I was a young girl. I didn't have to drink. I had a natural high. And my teachers were always calling my mama about me when I was in school because I was just the go-getter and had the national high. And I started out, and I'm going to be really quick, I used to work for Jesse Dawson Jail. And they were like, that ain't you. You need to come out of that. I'm like, I like criminal. I like to figure it out. I'm analytical. I'm a thinker. And they were like, no, you need to come away. Don't no gun need to be in your hand. So I didn't stay long at the Jesse Dawson Jail. And then I went to work for the hotels at the Marriott. And I used to love to see couples come in. And I'd be like, that ain't his wife. That ain't the So I said, okay, it's time to change it because I'm seeing church folks come through the door. And so, kind of after that, I moved on and I started working for Safeway. Safeway used to be a long time ago, and it had switched over to like Randall's and Tom Thumbs and so forth, and I became the supervisor. And I've been with Safeway since 1999, and I am still with them as of today. And so I married a pastor, and I was like, okay, and I got to sit here and try to be this pretty little first lady. This ain't gonna work for me. And however, that did not go well, and I divorced him because of infidelity. And then I said, you know what? I love people so much, and I like the ministry, and I like to. I don't know, I'm a giver, I'm a sower, I like to be there for people. And I just really started praying to God, Lord, what do you want me to do? I did have my own clothing store, which was called Chloe's Boutique. I named after my daughter. And when the pandemic hit, I shut it down because I'm like, where are they going to wear clothes to having COVID? I mean, and I'm looking good, but I got COVID. And so what I did was, I think the second year of COVID, things wasn't looking good. So I made probably a rush decision and I shut the business down. But however, to that, I went into ministry, full-time ministry. And I started ministering and going to churches, and I volunteered at the Salvation Army of Dallas and pantries and places. I volunteered because that's just me, who I am. Yeah. And I thank God for the doors. I mean, I got a lot of kickback because folks don't like women pastors and so forth, but I said, it don't matter. If I can encourage, if I can change, if I can make a difference in their life, the title don't mean nothing. It's the person and the love that's in me. And so I'm very passionate about what I do. And I have been, there have been men that say, you ain't got no business preaching, sit down. Okay, take the title away, but I'm still gonna do the will of the Lord. So I'm not title driven, but what I am driven is purpose driven. And so where I stand today, I am looking to do more things. I did bury a son last week, 21. Had cancer, never had been sick, and I got mad at God. Have anybody ever been mad at God? And I'm like, God, why? He was in church, he played drums, didn't smoke, didn't drink, a good boy. And then God, you took him. And I started saying, Lord, what are you saying to me? Okay, then after that, I lost my house. We need to quit women. We women, we need to buy. Because when we rent from these folks, they can put you out, they can sell their house, and ain't nothing you can do about it. And I said, okay, God, I done lost my house, I done lost my son. What are you saying to me? I'm realizing that in order to rise, sometimes we got to go to the bottom. And it don't feel good going to the bottom. I mean, it's like I've lost everything. I even said, Lord, I lost a husband to another woman. And we women, we don't like to lose. To another woman. And to make a long story short, I said, God, where am I? What do I do now? What's the next chapter in my life? Well, I just wanted to tell y'all I just got back from Atlanta. And you didn't even know this, Miss Davis. And when I went to Atlanta, I met a producer. And the producer is legit, worked with Kirk Franklin. And he said, I love your energy. He said, I love your face. You got beautiful cheekbones. He said, share a little bit about yourself. And I do have a book out called From a Girl to a Woman. It's my life story. I've been through a lot of things. And he said, I want to do a documentary of you. And I thought he was just talking and playing. I gave him my information. He reached out to me Sunday, called me Sunday evening, kept texting. He said, I'm serious about this. How serious are you? I said, well, I don't know. Let me see your numbers, because numbers count to me. He said, I'm going to put a contract together and send it to you, and this is what I want to do for you. Sounded good, but I still need to see numbers. And so I just really thank God for the opportunities that he's sending me. I thank God for what he's about to do for me. Y'all, I'm royalty. I'm a five. And I'm ready to walk into what belongs to me, into my door. And I'm looking to do great things in 2023. And so I'm just here to tell you, I may not look like y'all, because I'm tired of folks talking about you look like a first lady or church woman. I've been trying to change my look, y'all. But if it's on me, it's just on me. But I want to say with this new adventure with Miss Davis, I'm so excited to be connected to her. She doesn't really realize, and she probably do, but how much you are really impacting the women in the DFW area. So if you are down to me, keep doing it, and we love you.
I am living on what's left. Those of you who are here, the challenge is to live on what's left. I don't have much health. Live on what's left. I don't have much money. Live on what's left. I don't have much talent. Live on what's left. I don't have much of a car. Live on what's left. I don't have much of a house. Live on what's left.
To get books, CDs, and DVDs, go to SheilaB.org to order yours today.